Okay, this is, I always say when a parameter is a problem, that makes it far more difficult to deal with. But anyway, your goal is to take this, manipulate until you get this over here. All right? Now, if you use the quadratic formula, you're going to get these numbers for the A. The big A is 1. The big B would be minus 4 times A plus B, and there is no constant. Right? Then you quadratic formula, you'd write this down and get this over here. All right? Now, granted, you know I wouldn't do that. I would just go to factoring, and I'll put this over here for you. And what do you get? X times x minus 4a plus b, and that equals 0. So quite simply, x does equal 0. And the other one, I want to point out, with the x would equal 4a plus b. All right? And I realize some people's desire is just to box it and call it a day. And I got to be honest, even checking an answer in an equation with parameters can get very difficult. All right? So I'm going to just check this one over here. And that means x is 0. Right? So what do you get? You get square root of a squared minus the square root of b squared is equal to a minus b. Well, I got to be honest with you, there are some troubles here. And not that I want to go there, not at this stage of the game, but this really largely depends on what A and B is in the equation. I'm just going to say, for sake of argument, that A is greater than 0 and B is greater than 0. And the brief that, it makes it a lot easier to analyze the problem. So I'm going to say these are givens over here. You know what? Maybe I should make them also equal to 0. And if that's the case, this would be A minus B equals A minus B. All right? So I'm gonna set this condition here just to make it easier for me to handle. So this certainly works. All right? Let me get my eraser out and erase this over here. That worked. Let's see the other one. Let's see what happens there. All right, more difficult to check though. And what are you going to get? I'll write this over here. And I got to do it. And I got to do inside that radicand. And it's going to be a squared plus, let's see, 4ab plus 4b squared. And what does that give me? Well, that would give me a plus 2b squared minus, let's do the next one now. And that's supposed to be equal to a minus b, right? Let me get my eraser out. I want to do the next one. And what's the next one going to be? Well, it's going to be b squared plus, let's see what you're going to get. Well, you can get 4a squared, and then you're going to get 4ab. Well, that's also a perfect square. What's that going to be? That's going to be b plus 2a squared. And again, we're sticking with this condition over here, which makes it easier for me to take the root of it. So what do you get over here? A plus 2b minus b plus 2a. And again, the question is it equal to this over there? Well, what do you get? Well, you get minus a plus b, and that does not equal a minus b. All right? Unless both a and b are 0, by the way. All right, so I'm going to say this one's not working out given the condition that a and b are greater than or equal to 0. Unless, of course, a and b are simultaneously 0. Right, but if they were simultaneously 0, I'm back to this one over here. All right, which includes this. All right, so I'm going to say it's not bad. However, I want to point out, they say that x equals 0 is a solution to the original equation, and we did verify that. It also says that if a equals b, then we have an identity. And I think I might have made a mistake in this. And before I say I made a mistake, I want to check out what that means. If a equals b, what you'd get if a equals b, you'd get a squared plus ax minus a squared plus ax is equal to a minus a. And I got to be honest with you, this over there, definitely 0. And in appearance, this also appears to be 0. But that largely depends on what x is, right? For example, if x made that negative, well, I'll be honest with you, even if it were negative, and I was dealing with complex numbers, it would still turn out to be a 0. So yeah, that's good. It's fine. All right. I know these are tough to check. What's really bizarre about this over here is that this could be an incredibly difficult question when you start thinking about if the A's weren't, non-negative. If they were negative numbers, what would happen? All right, or combinations of negative and positives. We made it simple, so I made this provision to make the analysis simpler. It's tough though. These are tougher problems, and I realize that. Thank you.